Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Gratitude very often gives us a starting point. So yesterday when we done the exercise of identifying which spiritual exercises we do to try and make ourselves more connected to Allah, we actually realize how much we do. And when you realize where you are, it gives you somewhere to go. It gives you the next step very often. So if your aim is to fully concentrate in all of your 5 prayers, for example, then if you know that at the moment you don't concentrate in any of them, then the next step might be to start trying to concentrate in at least one of them. And that's why it's really useful to be aware of what you're doing at the moment and how that is helping you and how you could improve that. And when we do this exercise of bringing attention towards what we do have, bringing attention to how lucky we actually are, then this increases these kinds of opportunities. And the Prophet ﷺ, he mentions in a hadith that if anyone was to be given 2 valleys of gold, then despite having 2 valleys of gold, this person he'd still be in pursuit of a 3rd one. He'd still want the 3rd valley. So these are the words of the Prophet ﷺ, where he is kind of explaining this whole syndrome where very often we're so focused on what we don't have and worrying about getting it and focused on what we don't have that we forget the valleys that we are sitting on. We forget the Prophet ﷺ, he mentions 2, even if you have 2 valleys of gold, even if you have so much, you still wouldn't actually notice most of the time. And because you'd be so obsessed with that which you don't have. So that's why this kind of exercise of bringing attention to what we do have really helps us be more aware and appreciative and thankful for Allah, to the extent that we'll notice how much Allah is helping us, and therefore believe that He'll continue helping us throughout our day. So one of the benefits of doing this course is that even throughout the day, we'll be more aware of when Allah is helping us. Especially when we feel connected to Allah and we feel that Allah is helping us throughout the day. But when we make a habit of trying to identify when Allah has helped us, when Allah's blessing has been in my life, then it becomes that much easier to just notice how much throughout the day, all day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is helping us in so many ways. And that's when we see how many opportunities we actually have. So again, just for today, just like we did yesterday, we brought our attention towards spirituality. And at the beginning we brought our attention towards the body. The body is, again, something which is hard to really go wrong with. When we bring our attention here just to the breath, the fact that we can breathe, and the most vital organs that we have, like the heart and the brain, and remembering to breathe properly. And once we do this, we just bring that awareness back to how lucky we are to have our bodies. And again, when we get into this practice, we realize it's actually a practice which we can practice with anything. Gratitude doesn't have to be making a list of fancy and exciting things. It can be the simplest thing. The idea of gratitude is to bring attention towards that which we usually ignore. So it's not hard to find that thing. It's just that we're not used to being grateful for those kind of things. So that's why it's really important to, keep going through this course and try and continue bringing attention to what Allah has given you and see how that changes your perspective. Assalamu alaikum, and see you tomorrow inshallah.